Give thanks every time. Yeah. Alright, okay, something new for today. Bring you massive value, as I would say. In all types of ways. You know my goal right now. Building the best AI employees and AI employee systems possible. It's all about the workflows. It's all about ontology. It's all about determinism, deterministic, non-deterministic. It's all about a lot of things that I learn as I go and stay in the flow and do what I know and keep getting better every day. So you know, you can do whatever you put your mind to. No reason to feel like you got the flu and stay sick of something you don't like when you can just close your eyes and picture yourself where you want to be and what you want to see, and your physiology will change naturally. So that's all you got to do, and then things will start working out for you. Don't let anything bring you down. I know we're all human. Nobody's perfect. Be conscious. Know yourself in this time. A lot of things going on out here. Gotta stay in the light. Alright. So, getting on to what I know. That would be right here. Alright, here we go. Let's see where I'm at this week. You are here. Alright. Shorts. There we go. Alright, everything's looking good. Right now I'm on the card for shorts. On the workflow. So it's telling me 6 drafts not scheduled yet. And it's showing above that everything's scheduled up to 8:20. And I know we were going over this last night and was talking about like getting a business account with Publer. I did not do that last night. I'm planning on doing it, but for right now, I just wanted to check with you. It seems to me like everything's at least scheduled up until 8:20. What is the like state of this right now? Because from reading this, I'm a little bit confused. So on the top, it shows like YouTube and how everything is scheduled out. That seems fine. I understand that. But then below that, it says 6 drafts not scheduled. And it shows 3 drafts pending for TikTok. And then same thing for Instagram. So for me, it's like, I don't know which 3 those are. I'm guessing they're the ones later and not sooner. And like I said, I'm going to get the business thing so you can get the API and not have to do browser control. But, hey, why not for right now? Let me know if you think, if you can just do this on browser control right now, just to get it done with for now, and get these 3 pending drafts taken care of, and then I can just move on and move through the workflow. Let me know. If browser control is not something you think you should do for this, then let me know too, and help me understand where the gap is, where the 3 drafts that are pending. Hopefully it's like farther in the future. And then I can just like keep moving on. Just want to do the easiest solution and keep moving through the workflow. It's all about building, learning as I go. Oh, looking back at the chat. Snell, Jongdon, I don't even know how to say that, but I do remember you. Good to see you again. Respect every time. Definitely have some really productive conversations every time you're here. And I remember we were talking about like regulations and stuff. I remember you believe you are from the Netherlands, and you have a long history with coding, and definitely good to have you here. I'm making a lot of progress on these agents. I think right now the main thing is about like getting the workflow done and just moving through it and getting the foundation set, and then focusing on like each agent one at a time and optimizing it. But like when I try optimizing the agents before the workflow is done, it just leads to things that cause confusion and problems. So I'm kind of learning as I go about this. Awesome. My memory is good. I'm doing pretty good. You know, rainy day. Thought I would come on earlier, and trying to switch up my schedule so I'm not staying up so late. But you know, making a ton of progress, so that's the main thing. And the next business is going to be a agency for B2B AI employees. So I really like building these AI employees and these workflows, and I feel like double down on that, use them as test cases for my own businesses, and then basically help other businesses implement stuff like this. And I mean, like, what I'm seeing right now, the main issue these businesses have when I talk to business people about this stuff is they're like, our customers don't want to deal with robots, they want to deal with humans. And then I see that their employees usually are like at least a little bit stressed out, and I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not telling you you need to replace all your employees with robots. What I'm telling you is, if you have kind of like a robot assistant for your employees, they will be like 100 times more productive, way less stressed, and like way happier. So then when they're actually dealing with the customers, they can be like at their best and they can give their all to the customers. And then they see it. But like that seems to be the major hang up that most of these businesses have, is they're like, I don't want to replace my people employee with robots. So, you know, a lot of misunderstanding still that I'm seeing. This is still like super early, but I really believe within the next couple years, probably like 2 to 3 years, this is going to be so standard for like every business that if they don't do it, they're just not going to be able to compete with all the other, with their competitors that are doing it. So that's where I'm trying to go next. How about you? Have you been building anything new, learning any interesting lessons? Definitely always like to hear about that stuff. So you've been working on a platform for content creators in the Netherlands, and you've got a few big creators there, and you're planning on releasing the end of this month. It's like a streamer donation platform. That's awesome. I always like it when people are thinking big. So basically, it sounds like just kind of like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So like the main thing I'm wondering, I guess, is it a platform where people stream on the platform, or is it like something where content creators just kind of sign up for, and then people can like donate to them through that platform? Like I think right now people are just putting links like, you know, buy me a coffee, you know, contribute to my crypto wallet, send me some money to my Venmo. So like, kind of what I'm thinking is if you can like replace that with something standard that like the whole industry uses, especially before like people get monetized, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So nope, I'm not right. It's like a donation platform with links, and the software makes it popping up on stream when someone donates. Just like Tippy Stream, but without the known issues and lower fees. I'm gonna look up this Tippy Stream real quick. The #1 donation tool in Europe. So I'm guessing the reason you're doing one for the Netherlands is just because of like the language is diff. Like this would be in English, and you're gonna do one in Dutch, I believe. So you're basically doing what this is doing. You're finding the known issues, which is high fees, and then I guess the fact that it's in English, and then you're just kind of like making it better for where you live. Welcome to the chat, Rock Hard. How you doing? What's up? And then multiple reasons, for example, Dutch support. Oh, okay, that's a big thing too. Better and easier software without the learning curve and lower fees. That is the way to go. That's what I'm seeing is like, from more research I'm doing, it seems like most of the people in this space recently, especially that are having the most success, they're not building something new. They're just finding like what's already working and then making it better. And I mean, that's like something I've known about business for a while, but it's really like with this kind of like AI capabilities right now, it's really like what is the word? Like I want to just build something new. My like intuition is like, oh, I can build anything, like why not like think of this new awesome thing no one's ever done before. But for the most part, that's not really what's like working the best from what I've seen. Building something new is really hard if you want customers, no doubt. And then I've seen like, the newest thing I've seen is people who are building like not for customers. Like I think these are people that have already kind of like retired as far as money goes, but they're trying to solve like big world problems. And they're just basically like creating websites like about world problems and like putting AI to work. And this is like brand new, and I'm not really understanding it that well, but it seems super interesting to me. Do I currently use Claude? Yes, Claude is my main agent or model that I use. And I've been just like using Fable 5 for pretty much everything. Even though I know it's overkill for a lot of things, it's like, I mean, I got it, why not use it? And it takes longer, but I did just set up OpenRouter for my agent workflows, so then I can run different agents with different models. That would be like the best fit. And I set up some testing, so it's like it saves, you know, like the time it takes and the cost it takes for each different model. And then I kind of personally grade what I think the output is like, so that over time I can basically get like a better idea of what model works the best for what agent. What is that what you mostly use is Claude? I would have to say, from what I see, most people use Claude. And then some people use Codex, but some people, I think, they feel like Codex is an ease of use, but they still agree that Claude is, like, better for coding. Did I ever use the new Codex app? Yes, I have. I find the new Codex app is just certain things I like about it, but I would just rather work in the terminal. I feel like maybe I'm just more used to it. And I did use GPT 5.6 Soul. I think I mean, from the output I'm seeing, like it seemed like it was definitely a little better than the previous GPT model, but not that much. And from what I've seen, really, like Fable, the new Opus, and that new Soul are pretty close with like the quality of the output that I'm getting. I mean, depending on the use case, but I think that especially for like if I was using an API, I would not be using Fable for most things. If I was using an API and paying per token, I would probably be using GPT 5.6 Sol for like most of the like heavy reasoning for my agents, and then I would probably use just like the Luna, and then like the other what's the like Anthropic cheaper model, I can't remember, but start there and just kind of branch out. I'd have one agent that I'm using Grok, and that's because it is an agent that needs to go through X, so it's also using the new SpaceX API. So that and Grok are a very good combination for like agents working in Reddit, or I mean X. Sonnet, yep, that's it, Sonnet. And then I think Luna is the kind of the similar GPT version. And then I guess like OpenRouter kind of gives like promos and stuff. So you like new models come out, or even old models, they'll just kind of give you like a couple weeks for free. And I've heard people say like you can just keep switching in between those free models, but to me, like I don't need to be like trying to save money at that level. Like I would rather get a good system set and not have to like worry about changing it and pay a little extra than to like spend all that extra time doing like changing through all the free models with OpenRouter. Welcome back, starting. Respect every time. Hope you're doing good. this is what I hear. Open router, API cost will add up, and basically what I understand is, you know, open router takes a small cut, but most of my agents right now, like this whole workflow I'm building right now, basically like costs less than $5 a week to run it, and it's saving me like easily 20 hours of time, and I know I can still make it better and probably even like cut that in half, and then even on top of that make all the like output that I'm generating better and better over time. So I mean, it's crazy how much time I'm saving for how much money I'm spending. And from what I understand, certain agents, you know, run all the time, and I think that's mostly for like tech coding agents. So if I like set up, or when I set up workflows for my code base, stuff like that, or like customer support, I think is a major one. You know, it's got to be constantly checking emails. When those costs start getting high, that's when you transfer it over to local machine, and then you're just basically paying for electricity. Well, I do have local hardware, but not like the newer. I mean, like I just bought this new desktop. My old laptop is still pretty good, but for the main thing, I think I would want to buy like a really good local machine, like either the Apple or the Nvidia one is kind of the ones I'm looking at. Like from what I understand, I could even take like an old laptop and set it up, but that's really gonna limit, like I think it's basically like the RAM, or maybe can't remember specifically, it was the RAM, the processing power, or what it was that determines basically like how much computing power you have to how many agents you can have running on a local machine. So like basically from what I understand it right now, the local machines I have would not be nearly as effective than getting like the new Apple or Nvidia. That was the, I think DGX Spark, that's the Nvidia. Mac Studio, yep, that's the other one. Really depends on which one you can get for a normal price. That's the other thing I hear, is that they're in such high demand that it is tough to get them for a good price, and the price keeps going up. So I don't know if hopefully that's just something time, and some people are telling me just wait a while and they'll like, you know, the stock will get like replaced, and some people are saying if you wait a while then the prices are just going to go up. But I mean, if that's the case, then, you know, because like me trying to pick between Mac Studio and DGX Spark, it sounds like it might actually just come down to not which one is going to work better, but which one I can actually get for like a decent price. So you think that price will keep raising because of AI demand? That's good to hear. And that's kind of more what I'm like believing too. So sounds like I should buy it before I need it, because if I just wait until I need it, I might end up like having to spend an extra like a couple $100 or something. And I did used to build my own computers, but from what people are telling me now, that the way like certain costs have gone up on individual parts, it's like not cheaper to build a computer anymore yourself. So if that were the case, I would definitely do that, looking at these prices. But it sounds like I should actually not try to build it and just buy it. So you have Asus, Ascent, GX10. Got it for 4,000 with 128 gigs unified memory. That means that you can load 128 gig models. So the 128 gigs, like basically from what I understand, like most computers right now are probably like 16 or 32. So then that's what you're talking about for the gigs, is like, because that's like, I mean, that's going to be like 5 to 10 times more than what like most kind of standard computers are. So that would make sense that you can really only do like a tenth of what you can do on a machine like that with like kind of like the laptop I have right now. But at least I could kind of just like try it, maybe like hook up one easy agent and then just kind of like run it just for data and research and then get a better idea of how it works. So I think that's probably something I should do sooner than later. I'm gonna take a note of that real quick. Build one simple local agent on my laptop or desktop just to research and experience what it's like to build a local agent. So I just noticed that like we approved the script and then now the visual aid deck is there. But what I'm thinking is like to save time and make this more efficient, do you think it would make sense as soon as I approve the script to make the visual aid deck and the thumbnail and the description and tags, everything that goes with that, community post, so they're all there and I don't have to like wait for the agent to like generate each one after I finish each one? Let me know what you think, and if you agree that that's the best way to do this, then just go ahead and build it so it works like that. Because right now all I can see is the visual aid deck, and it'd be nice to have just like everything created at the same time if it's not going to affect the quality, which I don't think it would. So looking back at the chat, so it's not normal RAM, it's a different kind of RAM, it's unified. Shared between the CPU and the GPU. Okay, I have researched that and I understand that a little bit. It's like soldered, like welded, I think you mean. I think that's kind of the same thing. If you build a normal PC with 128 gigs, it will not work like unified RAM. Oh, okay, that is good to know. Alright, and like, I'm guessing probably unified RAM is going to be more difficult to build if it's even possible. Don't know how to explain. That's all right. I'm about to do some quick research on that. So let's see. Can you help me understand unified RAM better? The first thing I want to know is like, I'm trying to build like a local machine or buy a local machine. I used to build computers in the past, and I remember it's cheaper to build them. Right now, is it cheaper to build or buy a local machine with unified RAM, something that has like maybe like 128 gigs? Say an experiment with LM Studio that will get you into local stuff. And then also like Hugging Face I've heard. And I think there's another one too that I have a note on. You have to buy it. You can't build it. Okay. Oh, okay. The RAM is soldered directly onto the same physical silicon package as the CPU. You cannot buy Apple M series processor or unified RAM modules off the shelf to build a custom desktop. So that answers that other question. It's cheaper to buy it than build it. That's kind of what I was thinking. Right now it's like just under 5K for the Apple one. Can you compare the main features and price for the Apple, the Mac Studio with 128 gigs of unified RAM and the DGX Spark with 128 gigs and the ASUS Ascent with 128 gigs? Okay, so it looks like the Asus is the lowest cost. So, and the Asus has the NVIDIA chip. Oh, okay. Wow, so the Asus has the same chip as the NVIDIA DGX Spark. It's just cheaper. And then, so it's like, why pay extra for NVIDIA? And then it looks like Asus is about the same price as Apple. So then it's like maybe comes down to like which operating system do you like better? So that's why you got the Asus one. Okay. Because it's like the same model as the DGX and it's cheaper. That looks like, that is good to know. I'm gonna put that on my list right about now. Research ASUS Ascent GX10 128 unified memory gigabyte. For a local machine for running agents. Interesting. They're saying with Apple, fine-tuning models or using cutting-edge enterprise AI stacks can be trickier compared to standard NVIDIA workflows. And that sounds like pretty much what I'm doing. Weakness of NVIDIA, AI server disguised as a desktop. Can't really use it for a general purpose PC. Okay, so that's the only thing. It's basically saying like you won't be able to like use it as a desktop in addition to running the agents on it. Get ASUS if agentic frameworks. That's like, I just did the research now. That's all I need to know. Alright, thank you for that. That is, I was wondering about, like, which one to get. Now I know. That's awesome. Alright. And also, Apple's 128 gig model is almost impossible to find. That makes it even easier. And you're asking me if I missed that message. You're asking me if I meant Olama, and not sure when that was, but I know what Olama is. It's like a local model, but just not sure about that. But either way, thank you for the advice on that, because I got right to the root of what I need and what I need it for the lowest cost, and that's what I wanted to know, so respect. The only downside of the devices is that with the unified memory, they can only generate at 15 to 30 TPS. That's about half the speed of the Claude Fable in the cloud. Gotta look that up. I don't understand that well. Alright, so let's say I want to go with the ASUS Ascent. And what I'm hearing is that with the unified memory, they can only generate 15 to 30 TPS. That's about half the speed of Claude Fable if it's in the cloud. So basically, like, what is TPS? And does that basically mean like I would not be able to run a model as powerful as Fable? But I guess that's not in the cloud, so this is kind of where I'm confused. Oh, tokens per second. Output generation speed. Oh, okay. Cloud APIs stream at like 50 to 100, so that's considerably slower. And like from what I understand, most people that are running the local machines that I've heard of their use cases, they're running like not the frontier models. Like they're running simple models because their workflows or like tasks that the agents are doing are usually like email stuff, like email management and like customer support stuff. So they don't require bigger models. So maybe most of the use cases for a local machine wouldn't even require that anyway. Plus Claude Fable right now. But see, what I'm thinking is like in a year from now, like the Fable will probably be like considered like a cheaper, lower model compared to what exists. So like, will this machine be irrelevant in like a year or two? I guess no, as long as there's still like, you can still do a lot with the lower models. So maybe just with bigger models coming out that haven't come out yet. So you recommend for fast work use Quen, and for big things use GLM. And take that note. For a local machine, try using Quen 3.6 for fast work, and for bigger things use GLM 5.2. Awesome. Awesome. Now make sure that you apply that to all future workflows, so I don't have to keep reminding you every time I do a new workflow. And that should be like the rule. Whenever I change something in a workflow, then the next time that workflow comes up, like the next week, apply that. And then that being said, the next thing I'm seeing is when I'm reading the script, the some of the lines just like drop off. Like maybe the second line will just have like 3 sentences when it could have more, or I mean like 3 words, and it just makes it like weird to read. So I'm going to give you a screenshot of what I'm talking about. You can see it, and then you can change it so that this problem is not going to happen either on this script or anything else that I'm reading. looking back at the chat, right now I'm building the agent workflow. Basically, team of agents. I'm going to show you right now. So, the first business I created for this challenge is Stackivate. And I'm basically trying to get users onto Stackivate. So that starts with all the social media marketing. So this is my social media marketing team of AI agents. And it's custom for this business. I created this custom dashboard for this team. Like here's the Kanban board, the weekly workflow. And I got like a flow graph, org chart, and then the fleet where it shows every agent. And then this is kind of like payroll, talking about you know, how much it costs per run, how much time it takes, ROI, like how much time would that have taken me if I did it, how much would it have costed me, so I can pretty much like get as much data as possible. And there's definitely a lot more I'll be adding to it. So if you got any more specific questions, feel free. Go. So what stage of development am I in? I do not know. I know kind of like how I'm building it out. Claude is kind of like putting different versions in a plan. So basically I've built out version 1, so I've got kind of the foundation down. Now I'm just like basically optimizing it. And that comes mainly from just like running through the workflow each week, which is something I would have been doing anyway. And now it just makes it like way easier. And then I can like start with the bigger problems, and then like the next week there'll be smaller problems, and then I can fix those, and it just keeps getting better each week that I work on it. And I mean, this is major. Like, this is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. It is freeing up my time from doing repetitive things that I don't like doing, and allowing me to focus more on making like the important decisions. And it's just like makes working like way less stressful. And the amount of progress I'm making, I can tell, is definitely like compounding each week, especially now that like there's browser control. I had like a whole to-do list that had been building up for like a year or two, and like 2 weeks of using browser control, I probably got through like 80% of that list in like 2 like 8-hour shifts. So I mean, it's like went from feeling like I was like always behind and always catching up in my business to feeling like I'm like caught up, and then I can just like focus my time on the most important things. All right, let's see. Give thanks. So, over the last two videos, I've shown you AI moving closer and closer to your money. First, it was people connecting their own bank accounts to ChatGPT. Then the banks started building AI money coaches directly into their apps on by default. This week, the next step arrived, and it's the one I've been telling you was coming. An app launched that doesn't advise you about your money. It moves your money on its own, no approval on each move, no confirmation tap. Its founder calls it building the self-driving stack for finance. And in the same week, three more big names pushed their AI in the same direction. So today I want to show you exactly what launched, the honest limits those companies themselves publish, and the one question that matters more every week as these tools stop asking and start acting. So here's what actually happened. August 4th, company called Ribo, R-I-B-O, started the beta in public. It sits on your checking account. It automatically moves idle cash into short-term US treasuries, brings it back before bills. No per move approval. Essentially, the founder says they're building the self-driving stack for finance. It's a small startup and they only raised about 3.1 million. So, I mean, look at this. Like, this is basically finding better solutions than a bank has with holding your money in like a savings account. If you can get better rates from US Treasuries, a lot of people are not used to moving their money in and out of US Treasuries, and it can automatically do it. I mean, this is going to really put banks on their toes because then banks are going to have to compete. Like, that's what I'm seeing is that, like, over time, banks are going to be like, okay, you know, people are using our banks, but the money is being not accessible because, from what I understand, if this is moving your money to a treasury, then the bank can't use it to lend it out. So basically, your money's in the bank, but the bank can't use it. So then the bank would basically have to like raise their rate that you would get to like match something like this. And that's kind of what I see is probably going to be happening in the future. That this stuff for finance is going to really help the consumer in so many different ways, cause a lot of competition, really benefit us as consumers, like rates we get back on our money. I mean, just all kinds of things. So another company, Kakao, I'm not sure if I pronounced it right. It's Kakao Pay, launched an AI coach beta, and this is just in Korea. So it reads my data records, and that is Korea's framework for sharing your financial data across institutions, and it coaches you on your spending habits. So this is not doing anything with your money. It's just basically like reading, having access to see how you spend your money, and then it helps coach you on how to basically like be better with your money. Then we got Quick and Assist Beta inside Simplify. This is going to read your real transactions, your bills, your goals, investments, answer your questions, and run what if projections. So this definitely seems like the closest to a financial advisor. And Lending Tree detailed its AI mortgage assistant in production since late 2025. This educates It will understand your situation and then help to find you supposedly the best loan offers. And this is 97% of these conversations are handled with no human in the loop. So, as you can see, things are moving quick. There are no regulations. One company is taking the leap and doing something, and then like the next week we'll have like 3 to 5 big companies following their lead and kind of doing their own like version of what that first company did. So I'm going to say what this basically means. So 3 videos, 3 rungs. You connect AI to your accounts yourself. Then the AI comes built onto your bank's app by default. Now the AI acts on your money without asking each time. And look how quick this has happened. This has happened over like the past month. So, Revo's category is cash management, not investing. So, basically, because they're moving your cash into these I think it was treasuries, it's not considered investing. It's basically considered cash management. So that's like a huge legal loophole. If they were like automatically, without your knowledge, putting your money into certain investments, then that would be considered investing, from what I understand. So it's basically taking your spare cash to a parking spot and then putting it back in your bank. This is not a high risk situation. This is more of like an autonomous situation where like where is this going to lead to? So here's the pattern with all 3 of these. They all read your live real financial picture first. The AI no longer waits for you to describe your situation. It already knows. It just has access to everything. It knows all your data. And this is going on. Most people have no idea. So you're probably wondering what's the catch? The honest limits are the most revealing part. So Quicken, on the record, its AI can't move money between accounts, execute trades, or modify any external financial accounts. The Kakao company, says they're helping users build habits on their own. The companies are loudly saying what their AI won't do and are drawing the line in public. That's going to tell you 2 things: where the line is, and that crossing it is now a product decision, not a technical limit. It's all possible, and I've seen this all possible since I started building Stackivate about, I'm guessing, like 4 months ago, and none of this stuff existed. So basically, like, this is all playing out exactly like I thought, just a lot quicker than I thought. Now, looking at this line, Ribbo crossed it on purpose. Self-driving is not a metaphor. Removing your moment of decision is the product. It's all about taking your decision away. It's all about just like having one less decision for you to make. But, I mean, this is your money. I mean, it's up to you how you want to do it at the end of the day. And the backdrop hasn't changed from the last 2 videos. Regulators haven't drawn their own line yet. What ships is decided by product teams, not referees. And I totally believe that regulations will be made. So, I think a lot of companies, it's going to be interesting. Are they going to have to kind of scale back on what they're doing? Are they going to have like, more permissions to do more when the regulations are made? That's something I'm not really sure of how it's going to work. I think that not only will regulations be made, but they will change. Like with, different political systems that go into place, I think that this is going to be more and more regulated and less predictable on like how the regulations are going to change. So here's the bigger shift. Every rung is individually reasonable. A sweep to treasuries here, a subscription nudge there, a pre-qualified offer that saves you paperwork. Nobody's really shipping anything that really seems scary, like it's crossing a line. Everything's like really just kind of like testing the waters right now, seeing what's possible, doing really simple things, even though I know like there's a lot more that could be done technically. So the sum of all this is an interface where deciding is optional. Convenient is the point, and convenient compounds. Each decision the app takes is a rep you didn't get. The next rung is visible from here. The same autonomy, one category over, cash management today. The pattern doesn't stop itself. Basically, it's just going to keep on moving. It's just going to keep on advancing. So here's basically the flip. The question isn't whether these tools are good. Some of this will genuinely help people. The question is which moments of deciding you're willing to hand over, and whether you know what you want from the tool. Do you want it to decide for you? Do you want it to like take actions and take it to the next level and actually take the action and do it for you? Or do you want it to teach you and make you better at deciding? It's up to you. The future is going to be you. Like, do you want to just have AI make all your decisions for you? Or do you want to still be the one to make your decisions and just have AI give you more information to make better decisions? That's definitely what I think. I mean, I know like the less decisions you have to make as a human being, like that's not how I think our brains were evolved to work. We get better as people as evolving and making decisions, and when our decision making process is taken from us and we just pretty much have all our decisions made for us, I don't think that's very good as like a collective society. But I do believe there are some people that would work better for. But for the majority, I think like it's super important to be making decisions, especially when it comes to like your own money and investing. So, an app that moves your money knows your balance and your bills. It doesn't know who you are as an investor, what you fear, what you chase, what you'll do the first time you watch it act and disagree with it. So, I mean, what happens if, it makes a big decision and then the market starts crashing the next day? Are you going to be able to stay calm? Are you going to be able to not like panic? Because you're still going to have that ability to like reverse what the AI did. I mean, you're going to see that. You're going to see like, okay, AI just invested a ton of my money yesterday. Today, the market just started to crash. Is it going to keep crashing? That's what the media is saying. I mean, how are you going to handle that? You've not been like AI's been making all your decisions for you. You're not going to know. So, if you would know enough to make the call without the tool, autonomy is a convenience. If you wouldn't, autonomy is a dependency. It's the same feature, but it's just depending on the user. So, AI is racing to do all this for you, and this week it stopped asking permission. If a machine makes every decision, how do you ever learn? How do you get better? And when is it wrong? Is it not the one who pays? So the goal was never to outsource the decision. It's to become an investor who knows their own style and improves over time. A tool can act for you. It can't do the growing for you, and it won't answer for the outcome. Only you can. And this is what Stackivate is built around, starting with knowing what kind of investor you actually are. So here's the main question. Would you let an app move your money without asking you each time? And what is the first thing you'd want to know before turning it on in the first place? Feel free, let me know below. Help me make better content that can serve you better. Hopefully you got some value off of what I had to tell you. That's it for today. All right, first video done. And for how slow finance moved and how it was kind of boring in a lot of different ways, it's picking up quick. Like I can't even like Can't even believe how quick everything is changing. It's like every week the bar is being pushed, like, so far. But super interesting stuff. And looking back at the chat, yes, I did have like 2 years of to-do list. Like not the whole list, but like just over the past like maybe like year or two, that list kind of just had a like had things on it that I just never got to that weren't that high priority. And then I was finally just able to like hand the list to the AI, give it access to my browser, be like, how much of this stuff can you do? And it's pretty much got done like 80% of it. And I mean, it was slow moving in the browser, but I mean, a lot of these things were just like things that weren't that high of priority and were like really difficult and technical and just boring. And that's pretty much the main reason I would just like not really like, I just keep pushing it off and doing like more higher leverage tasks. So give thanks to AI. And Nandini, respect every time. Hope you're doing good. Change up the music. All right, I'm gonna give you the three thumbnail prompts that have face space, and I want you to let me know what you think is the best, and then let me know how you think it could be better, and create two new prompt variations of like how you think it could be better, and then I'll bring those to you, and then use the best one of that. There we go. That's way better. Alright, this works great. Like, the first one is already way better. The second one, it's still the no one is driving, and it's like, how do I even know this is about finance or AI, fintech, anything like that? So, like, I'm not even going to give you the second screenshot. I'm just going to give you the screenshot of the one I like, and I want you to take notes on, like, why we got this wrong. Why was that first variance of the first three screenshots, or I mean prompts, the first three thumbnail prompts, why was the output for that not good as it should be? What did you have to change to make this better? Why does this one work? Why do we like it? It's because you know from looking at it what it's about. Those other ones, that was the main problem I'm seeing right now. So this is the main fix I want to be making moving forward, is you should be able to look at the thumbnails for this Stackivate channel, and when you look at the thumbnail, you should be able to tell, like, okay, this is about, like, finance, like, this is about fintech. Basically, you can tell what it's about. So we shouldn't have this problem moving forward. I'm going to give you the screenshot. Let me know of any advice that you have, and then just take whatever notes you got to take and can move forward and just keep getting better over time. Looking back at the chat, is Stackivate going to be an app or a website? Both. So right now it's just a website. I am in the process of finding out what I need to do to get accounts on App Store, Apple Store, and Google Play for Android. Basically, it's going to be, the easiest way to say it, I think, is going to be more than one app. The website is basically like a platform for apps. All in the same fintech niche. And the website is going to be kind of like app testing. So right now, it's $15 a month. And there's 10 founder spots for the first 10 paid users. I think right now the main like feature and function as it stands is going to be about 30 a month, and then like just like most apps, there'll be a discount. That seems to be the industry standard for the tools that I have, and I just basically want to look at what's out there and make it better. But I'm thinking that there's going to be like a lot of different like add-ons and options and stuff like that. There's still a lot of unknowns to it that I'm just gonna figure out as I build. The main thing I'm seeing right now is like these big companies and banks that are really pushing the bar are doing things that I wouldn't legally feel comfortable about doing. So it's like, I feel like they're not going to get punished if they cross a line. But I would as like a small business. Like I wouldn't have the lawyers and everything that they have, and like I'd be probably like the first one like some regulatory agency would come after. So I'm basically like doing my best to, or doing everything that I have to do to stay in like compliance with like the legal issues. But as I was just saying, like a lot of these banks and other companies are really pushing it, and they've already crossed the line. And it's like, that's all stuff that I saw as being possible that I wanted to build, but I didn't build it because like I didn't want to cross that line. And these other companies are building it, and I didn't think it'd be this quick that they would be building it. So it's like I want to implement that stuff into my business, but I just don't feel comfortable yet crossing that legal line. So I'm gonna have to just wait until, just do what I know I can legally do right now. Wait until regulations are created, and then just make sure I stay compliant with all regulations, because it's so early and this is just a new field, and I have no idea how the regulation is going to play out. But I'd much rather not be the one to get any kind of like fine or anything like that. I'd rather just play it safe and see what the bigger players are doing, and let them push the bar. But the main thing I understand is like I can move a lot faster than they can. These big corporations, so. And also they're mainly, from what I'm seeing, like the main theme I'm seeing is they're trying to take away all your decisions. They're all about like, you don't even have to like know how to do this. Like, we'll just like, invest all your money for you and don't ask any questions, and we'll just do what's right and just trust us. And I'm like, that sounds like some of the worst advice I've ever been told. From what I understand about finance is like, I mean, you want to know what you're doing, you want to understand what's going on with your money, you want to be the one making decisions so that like if something goes wrong or right, you understand why, and then you can get better over time. So this is a major pain point that I'm seeing. And I don't think that the bigger banks and bigger companies, I don't think they would benefit from having people make their own decisions. I think they much more benefit from moving people's money around behind their backs. And I don't think that's a good idea. I think that could cause a lot of destruction to a lot of people. And I'm just trying to, make people more aware of that. Let them know that there is a solution to that issue, that they can use AI to guide them, to help them make better decisions, that is going to be more like relative to how they operate as a human being, and then just help them get better over time, help them like see exactly like where they are good at investing, where they're not, and help them get better in the areas that they're good. So how are we tracking which thumbnail I picked? There's nowhere on the thumbnail card when I click view the thumbnails for me to click which thumbnail that I picked. So is this something that I should be doing on this card, or is this something that basically like later on when the analytics is collected, then it can like see the thumbnail and then know like which one? Seems to me it'd be easier to just indicate it when I pick it, but let me know what you think would work best. And this is like building out these agents. I'm finding like there's many different skills to this, and they all just really complement my background as like business and entrepreneurship. The fact that I've hired like hundreds of people and trained those people I've hired, all like mainly freelancers. This is so similar because it's like the tech skill of it, of like actually building, knowing how to build the agents correctly so that they're handling and transferring the data right, storing it right, you know, database, everything like that, so it gets better over time. Understanding where to be the human in the loop as a CEO, and then training each individual agent like it's an actual employee to do its job better is so much just like training a human employee. So like my skills are very, very good for this. I'm seeing like this feels like my lane. This feels like what I really want to get good at, because this is like everything else. And I mean everything else in regards to like how I could run every business and make it like just like the business better, I guess. I do want to hire humans in the future as part of scaling up, but for the majority of the work, I would rather have an AI employee than a human employee for so many different reasons. I mean, cost, AI employees 24/7. There's so many reasons. All right, now it's time for the silence cut. So I'm going to give you the file path for the video, and one idea that I just had. I'm trying to find like a better way to, you know, make this process happen with the agent. So right now I'm manually like pasting the file path here, but do you think this would be something in the future that an agent could just like find the file path on my computer? And then like just automatically do the silence cut and like just basically like let me know when it's done through the card. Do you see any better way to do this? Let me know what you think, and I'll also hand you the File path. Well, have a good night, sleep well, and more progress, more abundance. Respect every time. Good talking to you every time, and see you soon. I'm gonna finish the rest of this video workflow off stream because it's basically just like uploading it and publishing it. Moving on to the back to the weekly workflow. The next thing I'm seeing is the reply review, and it's showing that there's a few posts there for me to reply to. So it looks like they're from yesterday. So it looks like it's finding new posts again. If I remember correctly, in the future we have it so an agent's gonna like automatically do this every day. We were just doing a test that we just concluded like which method works better to get this information. So basically, do the run, and I'm going to do these replies that are in the reply review, and then I'll let you know what or I guess I can just hit log as sent, or I'll indicate what I did on the actual like reply review page, and then I'll let you know after it's done, and we'll just make sure that everything's working correctly. So go ahead and start the feature signal for today. Okay, so that's interesting. Because I did notice that there's new posts from yesterday. So what you're telling me that I understand is that the agent that is the X API and the Grok model is the one that ran. But like we all also did testing that like tried two different methods of like getting data, and I think some of those were through Reddit. Maybe they were through Reddit and X. And I'd like to like expand it across the other social platforms that I'm doing too. But first I want to make sure that like I understand it and everything's working right before I expand. So basically, help me understand, was it just the one agent that used the X API and ran off the Grok model? Or did you also use any of the other methods that we've been testing? Let me know, do you understand this correctly? And is there anything that I don't understand? Any advice you can give me? Anything at all? Just answer my question. That's awesome. I didn't have to send the prompt. So before I sent that prompt, I noticed that you finished what you were doing and provided me with more information that answered some of my questions. You do have the apathy running. Um, Apathy process running. There was also OpenCLI and RSS, and I can't remember which one we decided to not use. Um, Looks like the last run that I see used all three. But basically, from what I understand, right now you did not run the X agent. That automatically ran last night. You just ran the apathy, and that was just on Reddit. And the Reddit suspension is still there. I'm still dealing with that. It's really low priority, I think, for right now, based on everything else of getting through this workflow. So I'm still getting a lot of information from the scan that I can apply to the feature gate, which is fine for now. So like, take a note that later, I will be trying to once again deal with Reddit. Everything I've had to deal with Reddit for has just been like super difficult, and they never respond to me. So I feel like I've done everything right on Reddit as far as following the guidelines, and they're still just like doing this. So anyways, help me understand. Am I understanding this correctly? Is there anything you can help me understand better? And I just did two posts that I marked off on the dashboard for Reddit that were there from yesterday from that scan. That's the end of this prompt. All right, I understand it perfectly now. And I want you to make sure you take a note, if you haven't already, about adding the apathy stuff for the agent. Let's see. So looks like I'm good to go with the feature gate. So I'm about to check that out and let you know what I think. Okay, looking at the research agent's pick, the first thing I'm seeing is this seems like just super similar to what I did last week. And I just want to make sure that there's like some kind of part of this system that's checking, I guess it would be the database, if I understand correctly, to see what was already done for the feature gate in the past, so it doesn't repeat or do something that's incredibly similar to something that's already done. So help me understand for the research agent's pick, financial accountability style quiz. How is this different than what was done last week? And is it very different, do you think, or just a little bit different? So now going on to the open candidates, I'm seeing number 42, savings brain versus investing brain. And number 40, what's driving this, as like my two favorite that seem like there is something I haven't done already. So now that you know like the three options I'm considering, go ahead and let me know first what's going on with that first one in regards to being like similar, and then let me know what you think is the best pick out of all three moving forward. Deed up. That is the word I was thinking. So, I want you to wire the fix for the deed up blind spot for next Sunday's run. And I agree, I want to do number 42, savings brain versus investing brain. And we can go from there. Alright, so I restarted the dashboard and I can see the script now. I'm going to give you a screenshot because it's hard to read. It's like the text is not covering all the space. I would like the text to be a little bit bolder, a little bit bigger, easier to read, and unless it's a list where it doesn't make sense to, like, you know, take up more space, don't do it. But if it's just like normal script, like writing paragraphs, it would be easier if it used the whole space and was just bigger text. So you should be able to see what I'm saying from the screenshot. Go ahead, make these changes, make sure they're applied to all new scripts in the future, and then we can go from there. This is stuff I'd never would have discovered if it weren't for this workflow. Or at least it probably would have taken me a long time. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey. Back. How does it say 1 hour? AI is really bad at estimating time things will take. It's looking better, but now I'm seeing the bullet point text is still kind of like I have to squint my eyes to read it, and I would like the text to be bigger. I'm going to give you a screenshot to show you how it looks right now. So go ahead and make that bullet point text bigger so it's easier for me to read. And make sure you apply that in the future. Looks like it's done. Tool is live. Let's check it out. Looking good. So I noticed that the visual aid deck is not there yet, and it makes more sense to me if when the script is created, the visual aid deck is ready too. And I think we already had it, so like, you know, after I mark that, the mark done on record the video, that basically everything else that's needed for that video for the data is created, so I don't have to do it like one card at a time. Like anything where like one card gives me everything I need for like multiple cards in the future to be created, I would rather do it that way than to do it so like I mark one card as done and then the next card is generated for the data, and then I mark that card as done and then the next card is generated. Because from what I understand, even with agents, that's going to take longer. So I want to make it quicker and more streamlined. So let me know if you understand this, if you have any questions, and if everything looks good, like I understand it correctly and so do you, go ahead and implement that. So I can access the visual aid deck. Yeah. Give thanks every time. So, my whole business runs on one database. Every AI employee that I have reads from it and writes to it every single day. So, when the company behind that database builds a test to see which AI coders they can actually trust with one, I drop what I'm doing. It's called Supabase evals. They ran Claude Code, Codex, and Open Code against real database tasks, real security holes, real. Your users can see each other's data leaks. The main issue with any business right now is all about data, and they publish the scores. Quick honesty check before we look, because I keep it real with you. It's not literally scoring which AI breaks your database. It scores which coder gets real database work right, and that includes whether it leaks your users' private data. That's close enough to the thing that keeps me up at night. And a couple of these numbers genuinely surprised me. Stick around to the end, because I'll also tell you where I think all of this is going. So, why do I even care about this? Because I'm not a developer. I've been an entrepreneur for like the past 15 years at least. So, I could say I'm a developer for the past maybe like 6 months. I have been developing things, but I have never written a line of SQL by hand. SQL is the language databases speak. I just talk to mine through AI. And that database is not a demo. My research agent clocks in on its own every Sunday. I have multiple agents that follow it in my first workflows that I'm doing. It's all about building these AI employees. They read the database, they write, report back to it. So my whole content system runs through it. My whole business depends on these databases working correctly and the agents working with the database correctly. If an AI coder wrecks that, it's not a bug. That's my business. and database is super important. So a scoreboard from the company that makes my database, testing the exact tools I use every day, that's not tech news to me. That's a report card for my employees. This is something that I was going to basically do anyway, is test to see which models work best. I just haven't got to it yet on the database. So it's like a future task that I was planning on doing just got taken care of for me. And I didn't even have to do the test. This is one of the reasons I love AI tech so much, is like when I have a problem, it advances so quick that a lot of times really like I don't even have to solve it. It's like AI knows what my problem is, and then like the next week it already invented the solution before I even got to like starting it, which is what happened here. So I'm super excited about this. And now I'm going to talk about what this test actually is so you can understand it better. So Supabase spun up real database stacks and containers, no mocks, and let the agents loose with the same tools that I use, the real command line, the real MCP connections. And the scenarios came from real support tickets, like fix a data leak where users in one company can read another company's rows, fix a broken RLS policy. RLS is row level security. It's super important. The rules that decide which rows each user is allowed to see, and it's the wall between your user's private data. So, I mean, for me, this is my business right now, and I'm the only one that's using it. But in the future, as I scale up and I hire employees, I'm going to have to make sure that everything is good with that, especially if I'm like doing cross business with other businesses. I mean, for right now, this is not an issue for me, but I know it's something I need to think about for the future. And for a lot of businesses using databases, it's already an issue. So, scoring is part machine, part judge. Essentially, you could do these own tests yourself once you understand how they work. And hard checks like, can user B read user A's rows now? Plus an AI judge for the fuzzy parts. Each agent gets one retry, then the grade is final. So it's all open source. The leaderboard is public. Anyone can read it. Anyone can run it. Check it out, superbase.com/evals. So here's the actual scores. The moment I've been waiting for. It was all so worth it. It was everything I thought it would be and more. At launch, the build stage snapshot looked like this. Opus 5 and Kimi K3 at 100%, GPT 5.6 Soul at 89%, Sonnet 5 and GPT 5.4 Mini down at 78%. But here's the twist that matters for your wallet. Once you load up Superbase's skills, basically a well-written instruction file, and then the cheaper models close most of the gap. Sonnet 5 went from 78 to 100 just by adding a well-written instruction file and loading up Superbase's skills. So this is my whole right model for the right job thing with a scoreboard attached. I feel like this is a super important part of AI employees in the future, making sure you have the right model for the right AI agent, the right AI employee. And here you can see, especially when it's like doing one of the most important things for your business, writing to the database or changing things in the database. This is like one of the most important things that you do not want to get wrong. So, I mean, if you have a cheaper model that all you have to do is, just add up some skills and make sure your instruction files are written right, why would you pay extra for like a better model? But this leads to more that I'm going to talk about too. So there were some really strange findings here that came up that I never would have expected. So basically, the ChatGPT based agents read about 8 pages of documentation for each task they get. Claude Code agents read about 2. So even with the instructions loaded, it checks the docs less than half the time. Claude will just go for it. As other people have seen that work with Claude, and I've noticed as well, and it's not an issue where it's done anything to break the database, but I've noticed that like sometimes Claude just kind of like, it feels like it's skipping the process. So to see that GPT, I mean, this is something that like just a simple test that I would have done probably wouldn't have told me. This is like next level information. Agents kept handwriting database migrations even when the project had a cleaner directive. Like if there was a better way, if they told the agent like, don't just handwrite the database migrations, like there's like a structure to it that we want you to use, the agents were still doing it. So Supabase had to rewrite their own guidance because the agents wouldn't stop doing this. Even AI has habits. Like AI is programmed after people, and people are not perfect. People have habits. People, think they saw something a certain way or heard something a certain way when they really didn't. And AI does all the same things. But here's my favorite one. They reworded one skill description, and its activation rate went from roughly 10% to 60%. So that just goes to show you that just by changing the wording of one sentence on a skill description can make such like a 50% effect on the output. So if you think prompt wording doesn't matter, the receipts definitely say otherwise. And almost nobody's talking about it. It barely made any noise. The receipts are sitting right there in public. Anyone can check it out on the website that I mentioned through Supabase. And I have not seen anything about this. I thought this was a great video to do because I have not seen anyone else talking about this. So now I want to get to like my prediction. Like, where do I see this trend going? Where do I see tech going in this aspect? And here's where I think this is going. This is my opinion. I mean, don't take this as like legit, like what's definitely going to happen. But I do feel like I have a pretty good understanding of tech and where tech is going. So every platform is going to ship a scoreboard. It's all going to be about the more companies invest in AI agents, and I mean, even individual people can gain a lot from AI agents. Supabase created the AI coders on Supabase. I think within the next year to two, every serious tool you build on will publish its own version of this. Like, how do the agents score on it? What agents work better with different tools? This is going to become something that you check before you pick your stack. This is going to become something that will no longer require you to test, at least at the level that's possible right now, to understand the best model for the best agent. And I think that this is going to be one of the highest leverage skills that a person can have for building with AI, especially when it comes to business in the future. And instructions will become the cheap edge. This test showed that a well-written skill file turns a 78% into 100%. Yesterday's model plus great instructions can actually beat the new current model with nothing. So this goes to show, like, you can take a cheaper model and you can give it the right instructions and the right skills, and it can do better than a more expensive new frontier model that has no skills or anything like that. So the gap gets brought back with wording, and that's a game non-developers can actually win. So the next thing is safety scoring. Right now, the test grades what agents get right. The community is already asking the other half. Does the agent avoid destructive commands? Does it protect secrets? When that column shows up on the board, it really will be which AI breaks your database least. So that is like the next step to this. This was just looking at like, what's working the best, but now it's going to be like which one is, gonna basically break your database the least, has the least chance of breaking it. And I mean, to me, that's really the most important. All the other stuff really is not as important as not breaking the database. So I would have to say, summing everything up, it's not about use this model, not that model. It's not about like, which model is better than the other model, because they all work differently and they all have different use cases. And like I'm trying to say is like, it's understanding and actually like using different models for different use cases and seeing for yourself which ones work better. Because the agents, like even if you set up tests, the tests aren't going to always catch things that humans would catch. So right model, right job, real scoreboard. So This is a public, open source test that makes every AI coder better, makes every builder better. Nobody loses when the grading is out in the open. There's enough room for everybody here. This is like so new, and it's still going to just keep getting better and better. The sooner you start to use this stuff, the better it's going to be. And then the more time you spend on it, the better you're going to get at it. So, nobody has to lose. Now, check out my free kit in the description. You can see it there. If there's a pinned comment, it should be there too. Make sure you give thanks every time. Live the life you love the life you live. I'll see you in the next one. Looking at the chat, respect to SVM, respect the grind, respect the hustle every time. No doubt. Give thanks. Alright, so I guess that was that. The feature is done. Okay, feature gate. Oops, already did that one. I need to refresh it. Alright, so I refreshed the browser and it's still showing that number 43, the idea that we just used for this feature, is like an option. So from what I see, it doesn't seem like it knows that I selected this one. I just clicked the button for open the build gate, record the call, and it took me to like one of the older features I had on this dashboard where it's just showing like more information about this idea. And to me, it's like, is this just showing me more information, or is it actually like indicating that I selected that idea? Because from what I see, there's nowhere to indicate that I selected a certain idea. So then it, like, how would it go into the database to know, like, to check for, to make sure it doesn't like do a duplicate, stuff like that. So help me understand this. Go from there. Yo. I'll be back. Hey, sorry I missed your text. Did you still want to have dinner? Alright, well, I can stop up in the next half hour if that was. Alright, so, yeah. Right, where am I at? Tool is built. Feature video not logged yet. The tool is live, but it already says it's live from the other card, so I need to change that. Okay, I see where I was confused. I mistook number 43 for number 48. So it was already removed. But, do you think there should be something in that card that's like I indicate which idea that I'm picking? And then once I mark done for build the tool on that card, then I go into the workflow for that feature video. The first card is like a duplicate. It wants me to mark done when the feature is built, but it's already built. So as soon as I mark done that feature is built, it should be creating the like the script and the artifact, if I'm understanding this correctly, automatically with the agent. And then for right now, like, I'm just telling you about it, so you can just do it. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, in the worked example. Welcome back to the chat, Trout. 222. Respect to you. Respect due. Good playlist. Thank you. Everything's looking good. Awesome. So I'd have to say that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you got a lot of value off of what I had to say and do. I'm going to be coming through with something new tomorrow, and I got a ton of work I got to do for off-stream stuff tonight. So, taking it to the next level every time. Give thanks for life and health and strength. Give thanks for nature. Give thanks for creation. Give thanks for vibe coding and technology. And we can all come together and solve the world's problems. We don't need to divide people. It's all about unity. It's all about everybody being as one. One blood, one love. Jah did not draw any border lines. God did not create any wire fence. The system is tearing us apart. We need to come together and solve these problems and make it more unity. And stand up to the forces that try to tear us apart. And show them that when we come together, we can build everything up and create great things. And we don't really need them to act like they need to control us. We don't need that. We can do everything great. We are all created to lift each other up. So the system right now is a fraud. We got to do the right things. We got to stay in the light. We got to stay on the right path. We got to show them that we do not need them, that they have no power over us unless we believe that they do. So from me to you, live the life you love the life you live, give thanks every time. No one's bigger than God. God doesn't sleep, remember that. I'm out.